Well, good morning, Sue.
Good morning, Rachel. It's
Here
kind of
we
early.
It is very early and the sun's going to be coming in a little bit more. I might have to get up and close my shade because we have sun here today.
We do too. I love the sun so much because we haven't had it for so long. And this is day number 3.
Yeah,
Don't think we're going to have it all day today. I'm really surprised we have it at all. It is a game changer.
just making sure we're recording.
Oh, we are.
Yes. Okay, good. It is a game changer.
A game
Welcome.
changer. Welcome. Let's talk.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Episode 64, I think.
Whoa.
Yes,
No
we are
clue.
back. And we have a lot to talk about today. It's like we need to harness our organizational skills so we can stay kind of on topic. But Sue and
Yeah.
I were just chatting for a couple minutes before we hit record, as we do, and we want to do all of the things, everything.
Let's introduce ourselves first because
Oh,
we're
you're
going to
right.
get talking. The only reason I'm saying it is because we're going to get talking and we're going to then have to stop to do that. So let's do it and then we'll talk. I'm
Okay.
Sue
You're Sue. I'm Rachel. I'm Treehouse Fiber Arts, and Sue is Legacy Fiber Arts with a Z.
with a Z at the end of
Yes.
arts.
Or Z.
Arts.
Yes.
Yes. And I'm Knit24, Legacy Fiber Arts and Crooked Fiber Farm on Instagram.
And you have a wonderful, we call it Periscope, but it went to Instagram Live. So if there's anybody out there that might be interested in being part of our little Knit 24
Morning.
Periscope community, that is a lot of fun in the morning. Good morning to those of you who are on that. I would never say hello to those folks from our floss toss.
And they are our friends. Like we have been meeting like this since I think we're in year 8. It's
Yes.
what we do now is Monday, Wednesday, Friday is a closed group technically on Instagram. So you have to ask to join. It's Knit24 Periscope, which is really an odd name because Periscope was so weird. Um, and then I let you in as long as there's something that indicates you're a fiber person. Did you
Yes.
notice the other day someone snuck in?
No.
Yeah, someone snuck in that's been trying to get in, and we were open for a very short amount of time because Chelsea had to get the footage from Jen and I over to YouTube, and somehow he was able to slip in. That's why when I said to you, Rachel, there's something that I need you to take care of. I think you'll know. I thought maybe you had noticed.
Oh, no, I didn't.
So be aware because that is the beauty of this group. On Periscope, we had so many trolls that I had to work around. And it was funny a lot of the times, but at one point it was really like I almost stopped doing it because it was so
Yes.
distracting.
Yeah.
And then we found a way around it. And now this group is amazing because I have to allow you in. I allow everyone in practically. I mean, there's
Mm.
2 people that have been trying to get in, men, which I feel bad because I didn't allow Jason in for a while and he contacted me because I didn't know him. I felt he
Yeah.
was like, why aren't you letting me in? We all love Jason so much. He's an integral part of this morning. And yeah, so I'm always so like, oh, maybe they're fiber artists because there are lots of men, wonderful fiber artists, but there
Yeah.
was nothing indicating it. That was the
Right.
thing for me with these 2.
Mhm.
And I believe one of them, I don't know if they just automatically got let in when it was open.
Wow.
Yeah. It
Mm.
could have just been they had asked to join and once it was open, it clicked them in. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Now, what did he do when he was on the Periscope?
He was, well, no, on yesterday morning, he was just very like, oh, it's so nice to see you, blowing kisses, and just felt like, nah, this doesn't feel good. So,
Ew.
and I just ignored it. And I thought maybe you had picked up on it. So just have
No.
awareness, just have an
What
awareness.
would I do? What would I do? How would
I
I
think
help?
you could block him.
Oh, yeah. I could block
I
him.
think you could.
I thought maybe you wanted me to put him in the corner.
Oh, that could go off the rails so quickly.
That's another thing. You have to join to know about the corner.
Yes, it's so much fun. And
Mm.
don't feel like, oh, it's such an established group because A,
No.
yes, we are, but B, we welcome everyone and we love having new people join. It always adds a little more and
Hmm.
we get new people all the time
Yeah.
and
And we love giving warm welcomes.
we do. If you want one, we give you one. If you just want to kind of be in the
Yeah.
background, that's okay too. And yeah,
I've been known to lurk in the
same.
background and she doesn't even know I'm there. And then all
I
of a
know.
sudden she
Today I
comes
was
and be
like,
like, oh,
oh,
you're here.
are you here today? I know. So anyways, yeah, feel
Yes. So
free to
if you're
join.
a regular, welcome to our Floss Toss. And we're glad everyone is here today. Thank you for coming back as usual. So I
Yes.
think today we have some stitching to show. We both have a little bit of knitting to share,
Yeah.
and I have so many cool things, new things in the shop. I'm so excited about. And in the pipeline for Treehouse Fiber Arts, going back to another creative endeavor that I loved before and I set aside as we do when we come back, and that's punch needle. So I finished a punch needle.
Oh, and I have been stitching like crazy. I feel like my brain is slowly settling in
Yeah.
and I'm trying to be hyper focused on certain things because like all of us, our brains go crazy. And I'm back to that. I need finished products. I don't want to just have a million things going and with no end in sight, because that's how it feels. No
Yes.
end in sight. And I don't like that because I'm of the age where I want things done and on my walls and having a
Yeah.
new home is so fun to
Yes.
I've put up a lot of my older, like really older needlework pieces that I did when I owned my shop and when I was designing. And as much as I love them, they're dated. They
Mhm.
really, really, whether it's how they're framed is dated or the design is dated.
Mhm.
And now I really focus on stitching things that don't date, which, let's face it, are mostly samplers.
Yeah.
Or it has a lot to do with the colors being used in the design. That's what I notice about my pieces that are very dated, is the
Mhm.
use of color. And I notice that also how that happens with quilts.
Hmm.
Very interesting because my aunt made me a beautiful quilt. Beautiful. And I love it. It kind of lays on top of my bed, but it's not a full. And
Mhm.
it's so stunningly beautiful. And she's a master quilter, like truly, she really is. Sadly, I think she's starting to not be able to do it as much because of the weight of it and the physical piece of quilting.
Yes.
But what I can say about it, and it doesn't affect the use of it for me and my love of it, but it's got very dated colors because she's been quilting forever. And
Mhm.
her stash has a dated look to it. Now, having
Hmm.
said that, it will come full circle and be the colors will be relevant again.
Right. That's the trouble.
Yeah, and I love it. It's what I loved back when it was. And like my thoughts are it will get passed down to someone in the family. And by the time they get it, it'll be relevant again.
It's so true because what's dated to us in 30 years will not, it will be a good dated.
Yes,
It'll be vintage.
exactly, exactly. The only thing is I don't want to base my whole room on it.
That's the thing. You want to be somewhat feeling modern in style, on trend. I don't know.
Mhm.
So then that creates a whole storage thing. What do
Yes,
we keep
well,
and do we not keep?
how I look at it is I'm gonna go, like our bedroom is blue. I'm not a big blue person, and there's a lot of blue in this house. This is like a blue gray, depending on the light coming in. This room is fine.
That's
Um,
pretty.
but it's very blue. It's very blue in our bedroom. And I thought, oh, we need to do this immediately. And no, I've gotten used to it and it's not horrible,
Yeah.
but I will go very neutral on the walls and I don't know. The quilt is just stunningly gorgeous and there's no way I'm not going to have it on my bed because I love it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's definitely a dilemma. And I'm sure a lot of people out there are identifying and nodding their head with what we're
Yeah.
saying. So what have you been working on? Should we do
Well,
finished objects? Do you have any finished objects?
no, no. So after we finished last week, I'm going to tell you my story, or whenever we did this last couple weeks ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was still really frustrated and I was like, I don't know how to get out of this because I really want to continue to do this with you. I love to stitch and I'm not motivated. And
Mm-hmm.
all of a sudden, I went back to, I have to commit. I have to commit. I can't just pick up something, go, yeah, I'll work on it for a half hour, or I have to commit. So I have to find a piece that I can commit to for 2 weeks. That's my goal. And that's what I did way back when we started. And I was getting a lot
Mm-hmm.
done, it felt like. So I committed. Now, obviously, I can't commit if I start working on something and I don't like it. So I really went to something that's been kind of on my mind, like, oh, I really love it. I want it. I want it. I want it. Decided two things. I have to want it and I have to know where it's going to go.
Yes.
I solved that problem. I know where it's going to go. I've kind of known for a long time. I hope this is it. Nope. I have 3 samplers over here. But I literally fell in love, and I don't know if it's like something clicked in my brain. I don't know what happened, but I just decided I'm going to sit here and I'm going to work on this. And I haven't stopped. And I've
Mm-hmm.
gotten so much done. Like, it's pretty shocking. So, what is it? It is. We also will talk about organization at some point today because that is a game changer for me. Yep, I went for the biggest one possible.
Yes, you did.
I don't know why, because I want it done. But then I thought the only way it's going to get done is if I work on it. So I had this much done when I picked it up.
Mm-hmm.
I had these plans this morning I was going to iron, but then I was like, I don't know where the ironing board is.
Oh my gosh, yes, you committed. Wow.
I committed.
Look at your little trail. I love watching your little bunny trail.
Well, I committed, and what I started with, this is how I was able to commit. I was like, I'm going to do one motif today. And I did. And then I moved to the next one. And so I really stuck with completing motifs here. This one, I think I need the floss here. This one, so of course, this is for my sweet Lily because it's considered the Lilies. So she will get this when I die, not before. So I'm not sure if I'm going to put Liliana and the year she was born
Oh,
or my name so she knows I did it and what year I did. You think that one?
I think that one.
I might even say Grammy with the year.
Does
I might.
that say on there anywhere, consider the lilies?
Yes, down here.
Oh, perfect. So her name's in there.
Yes, yes. So then I was like, oh, I got to get to that tree. And I had to get to, I think this one is Eve. I'm not sure which is Adam and which is Eve. They look the same. And so I committed to half the tree. I got that done. Then I was like, finish the tree. And so then what happened is I started getting bored. So I moved down. I couldn't wait to put in the figure.
Yeah.
I know Adam and Eve figures are really crazy weird, but I've always wanted to do one Adam and Eve sampler. I
Yep.
thought I had, and I did, and maybe I don't know when I had my shop. And then I was like, I really want to get to make sure I'm lining up. I've been really, really careful. I
Mhm.
am off. One of these letters is one block too close, but I'm ignoring that. And you guys, I'm to the house.
That's great.
So then you will notice, like, yeah, there's a motif that isn't finished. Yeah, there's another one. So then I would get bored and I would do maybe 2 to 3 starts on motifs and then go back and finish them. So I haven't gone back to finish because I haven't picked it up because I started obsessively knitting now.
Mm-hmm. You
But
got a lot done.
I got a lot done. I'm super happy. I was hoping I could focus and do this whole section.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't.
Mm-hmm.
I might though. I might go back. I also started working on the border. I'm almost done with just the green line. I
I
am
love that border. It looks like a fun one because you can just really cruise along and then pick up the next
Yep.
concept, and cruise along.
It's super fun. I am using, I believe this is a 40 count. It's a legacy for sure.
Hmm.
Or a picture this plus for sure. I always say legacy, and it could be legacy. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
Bought it a long time ago, but holy moly,
How fun. Well done.
I love it. So it's going in my dining room.
Hmm.
I want to say I'm going to finish it this year,
Hmm.
like, and I hope midway through. And I feel like I'm going to continue on it. I might
That,
give it another full week. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. But I'm so happy. And what I'm finding is, and I'm finding this in knitting, having everything you need within a package, not having to go get something out of another one. So, like, my goal is, I haven't found them yet. Like, I have scissors everywhere, I have glasses everywhere. I want them in all of my project bags that I'm working in, like, not
Yeah.
everyone does, but like, say I'm working on, I have 3 samplers that I want to work on, and I want each one to have everything it needs.
See, that's my dilemma too, but then I lose my favorite pair of scissors in a project bag if I don't pick it up. So I was thinking, okay, let me make a little station by where I sit and stitch with all the stuff in it. And then it turns into, so I got myself a really pretty container and it's just become this like cesspool of every time there's an extra notion or two on my end table, I just shove it in that little container. So that's not working for me either.
I like that. The thing that won't work for me there is the girls, when the girls, and Winnie.
And Winnie.
But I have a place where I could put it up high, and then when I'm sitting, I could bring it down low. I like that. I can't find, and I have them. I did not lose them, but my kahanas, is that what you call them?
Mm-hmm. Kohanas, you can't find them. They're
They're
somewhere.
here. They're in one of the bags. And you know what? After I just said that, they might be in the stocking bag.
Hmm.
But I think it's important because I'm constantly looking for, I waste so much
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. Especially scissors. For some reason, that's the
Yeah.
thing that I lose the most.
And I have lots and lots of good scissors, lots. Like, because when I was designing and doing hardanger, I needed them.
Mhm.
I'm using the little ones from your shop.
Yeah, I
That's
love those. I have a ton of those. I just did inventory the other day and I've got like 40 some pairs of those cute little scissors.
so that is a great way. Do you have a pair to show? Because I have them in
I
here.
know. I
That is
usually
a
have one.
great way to have a pair. And that's what I did here, right here. What I love about these is the
Mhm.
cover.
I've got a yellow one too.
Yeah. But it is an easy way to have them in every
Yeah,
thing. And then say you do have a favorite pair that you leave in something by your chair.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly. And I love you can grab them quickly because they're covered with silicone. Whereas, like, I have this pair, it's so hard to pick up.
I
It's
know
so
that.
pretty, but it's so hard to pick up and it's not as sharp. I mean, this little snip compared to this long, this thing is so sharp. I've even used this to cut through like at Christmas time when we had a little plastic
Yes.
clamshell. This cut through the clamshell.
Yep.
So yeah, I love these and the price point, you can afford to have them in every project bag. So that's
Yes.
why I keep them in the shop. I think
Yes. I
they're
think
really
they're
cool.
great. They're even great in knitting bags because you don't need a
Oh,
great scissor in a knitting bag by any means.
no, it's a perfect knitting bag. Well, I
Yeah.
committed to one cross stitch project, and that is my modern folk embroidery family sampler in my beautiful woodpecker's daughter bag. Um, and I still am not down to the bottom row, but you can't tell that I did a lot of work. But I did a lot of work in here, and I'm making my way down now. I mean, this thing is going to be so pretty when it's done. I
Oh,
just love this. This is on R&R. What is this?
oh my God, Rachel, my
Oh,
eyes just, there's something so relaxing about his pieces. Like I
I
look at
agree.
that and it brings you to this like, it's
Yeah.
very like zenny. It's weird.
Yeah. I'm using one strand of Gloriana and
Mm.
Pacific Blue Dark. This is actually 36 count platinum.
Gorgeous.
So yeah.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
gorgeous.
So you can't tell I did anything, but I did. I
Yeah.
worked on it for a few
Yeah.
hours.
I
That's the
pulled,
problem with these for me. And I was finding I just couldn't get myself into a rhythm the whole time I worked on it. It was just like, I want to get this going. When is it going to just, you know how you
click.
just get in that zone and
Yeah,
you
it just clicked.
time? Yeah, it never
It's
did. But
it's weird because it takes me like if I'm in a stitch, I need time. I don't pick it like it's not like knitting at all. Where
hmm
knitting, you just grab it while you're at the doctor's office or stitching for me is such a commitment of time if I want to get to that level.
yeah,
But I do.
yeah, I know. We'll get there, right? I hope
Yeah.
we're gonna get back. In the
I feel like
meantime,
I kind of feel like I've gotten there.
yeah, you have. You
Mhm.
definitely have. Does this look familiar?
Is
This
that breathe?
Yes, it is
Love
Breathe.
breathe.
This is Legacy Fiber Arts Breathe. It's the signature colorway of the
The
year,
year.
right? And I don't know, when I saw it, I just had it in my craw that I wanted to combine it with some sort of silk mohair. So
Yeah.
I combined it with this really gorgeous silk. What is this? I decided the mohair might be a little itchy, so I went with the Surrey Alpaca Mulberry Silk mix to see if I liked it by
It's
Fiberspates.
also it's also I for us in the shop, our Surrey alpaca is a little heavier than mohair
Yes.
for
And
sure.
and I really like 100% or a blend with alpaca for gloves because they keep my
Yes.
hands warm. The minute, like I'll have freezing cold hands, and if I put, we've got this alpaca pair here that they're gloves. If I put those gloves on, my hands are instantly warm. That makes no sense to me why, but they do. So I mixed it.
Oh, they're so cozy.
Look at how cute.
They're so cozy. What pattern did you use?
This one is the Tin Can Knits, super simple mitten, easiest mitten. I don't know what, but I mean, I absolutely love them, and I almost want to make like a matching hat.
Yes.
But I love how the color plays with that,
Yeah, muted it right down because that's a pretty sharp, there's a lot of really deep color in that.
which I love. And I did a swatch because I wanted to make sure,
I love it.
but here's it, just
Yes, that's a
regular. And now
good.
you can see when you add
Mhm.
the Surrey alpaca and the silk mix.
I love it.
Yeah, and I actually used two strands of yours and one strand. So I had a caked up ball here and I pulled and it worked so well. I just pulled from the inside and the outside at the same time, being careful that they didn't twist as I was, but it worked so well.
So then did you use it as a DK or worsted? As
It
far as
played,
using the pattern?
yeah, as far as the pattern, I used the worsted weight
That's what I
number.
would guessed, yeah.
And I think I used a size 6
Oh
needle.
man, I want to make them.
Oh, they're so wonderful. So then I was like, oh, maybe I should do some sort of embroidery or something on these with like, I thought breathe. I thought like a puff, one of those
Yes,
dandelion puff balls. There's
yes.
some of those, and on here, but then I thought, oh, well, I don't know if it would show up all that well. Maybe it would with the coloring. So then I thought, well, maybe I should make a pair of mittens that are dark in color or plain in color that I can do some embroidery on. And so I pulled out this is actually a blue. Can you see it's like a blue black?
Yes.
It's like an ocean color. I pulled out Susan B. Anderson's World's Easiest Mittens. I don't know, what did she call them? Her Waiting for Winter Mittens and fingerless
Okay. I've
pattern.
seen this. Yeah.
This is the difference between this one and the Tin Can Knits one is the type of increases that the thumb gusset makes. Susan B uses a make one. Her make one is actually another cast on, backwards loop cast
Yes.
on.
Yes.
I
Yes.
actually love that. But the yarn I'm using for this is not that one. It is, what was it? Oh, Woolstock Worsted. It's a really heavy worsted. But I thought now I can do like a really cool flower in I can see a bright pink, a chartreuse. I love the chartreuse color with this
Yeah.
blue, black, greenish color. So I just have to do the thumbs on this one and close the top. And then I've got my palette for my embroidery. So we'll see what I come up with next time. I
You
was
can,
looking at the M Creative J. It's a company. She makes those stick-on, water-soluble templates. I thought, oh, I
yeah,
should see if it works for mittens
it would.
for knitwear. So I have a couple of those. Maybe I'll try
Yeah.
that first. I know.
Yeah, oh my gosh, embroidery is calling my name so much lately. So I follow so many embroiderers on Instagram.
Yeah.
I love embroidery. I love that it's coming back. Well, it feels like it's coming back. I think it's super cool. And in my world, it's such an old form of needlework.
Right.
That's what I grew up learning how to do before I did anything.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, just you can do so much with it.
Yeah. I mean, I was toying around with do I use yarn to do the embroidery or do I use floss? And I think floss will really pop.
I would be tempted to almost use a pearl cotton.
Yeah.
Like because you can get it in every color.
Yeah. I
That would
have.
be, yeah, it would give it a nice sheen, I think.
Mhm.
And it's only one, you can get whatever weight you want.
Yeah.
Um, I think 12 is the one that would be most like embroidery floss. Yeah,
And I love mixing artistic mediums. So this is right up my alley.
you are so good about it. I tend to, I tend to not get super creative in that area. It's so interesting because of what I do for a living, and it's like having to come up with new colorways and constantly having to use my brain about what works, what doesn't work. That when I sit down to do something, quite often I do it like I don't go off script because
Yeah,
I'm so relieved to have a script that I don't have to come up with on my own.
I get that. I
Yeah,
can see that.
so it definitely is more of I'm just going to stick to what they're telling me to do here. Obviously, little things I can like scoot off because I know differently.
Hmm.
But yeah, I tend to be like, no, just tell me what to do.
Yeah. And I like that too. And I'm
Yeah.
doing that with the new Andrea Mowry,
Yeah.
the Traveler cowl. And this cowl, I wasn't like in the market to do a cowl, but when this came out, this is the exact or it's very similar construction as I call it the drift, but I think it's the shift.
The
But
shift. Oh my gosh.
yes, and
I found mine
I
the other day.
I love that construction because you just put it over your head and it looks good. Like there is no fussing
It's
with I
so
mean,
now is that the new one or is that the shift?
this is the old one, and this is done with the mosaic knitting. So you're not doing color work, you're slip stitching. And this one is actually no slip stitching. It's just a really cool patterning. And I can probably just show this schematic. Shows you start in the corner and then you bring the two backs together. And I have been thoroughly enjoying a new to me podcast. It's called a Millcast, and it's by Junction Fiber Mill, which I think is up by you in
Yes,
Vermont.
I started, it's two women, a younger
I
woman,
love
older woman.
them. I love hearing about their mill that they started a couple years ago together and just all the equipment. So I picked up some of their making tracks, which is a beautiful dyed in the wool yarn that they make and they dye there. They ply there into this two ply. It's like a barber pole, very similar to Stonehenge Crazy, or it's kind of like Stonehenge Crazy meets
Spin cycle.
Spin Cycle. Yeah, and so I got their brightest colorway. I think they call it Vermont Vice because it's like Miami Vice colors. And it's just such a nice
Oh,
marriage of pattern and yarn. So far you can see this, it's when I block it, it's going to open up a little, but it's this combination of all knits and all pearls with an eyelet
darn it.
side. And it's just it's relaxing, but it still keeps you engaged because you do have to kind of follow each line. And after a while you get the gist of, this is the I-cord side, this is the increase side, this is the purl row, this is the knit row. But it's just, the yarn makes you keep going. You want to see what color comes next.
I'm gonna
It's
have to
soft
get
and
some of
squishy.
theirs.
Yeah, you need to go over there, and maybe when I
Yeah,
come visit, we can go on a little field trip.
yes. Where
Say
did you
hi
say
to those
it is?
ladies.
Is it in White River Junction?
Oh boy, I don't know.
I
Junction
can't
Fiber Mill.
remember. Yeah,
Here,
I feel like you told me it was down there.
this is yes, proudly made in White River Junction, Vermont.
Oh, that's like,
Junction Fiber Mill is a small batch wool processing mill in the heart of White River Junction, started by two sheep farmers and friends, Amanda and Peggy. And that is what's also neat. They understand what different breeds do to yarn, and they're understanding the mechanics of all and the computerization of all this equipment that they're getting. And it's really a fascinating thing to listen to. Talk
yes. And
about,
isn't she about to have a baby? Did I understand
yes,
right?
yes.
Okay. I only
One
watched one, I think.
one is about to have the baby, yes.
And then the other woman's daughter is about to have a baby, isn't she? Did I hear that right?
Yeah, or she just did because she's always going down to visit grandkids. It's
Yeah.
it's really
We'll
highly
have to
recommend.
go. We'll have
Yes,
to go
it'd be
for
super
sure.
fun. But yeah, so that's all the knitting that I wanted to.
So fun. Well, as long as you're talking knitting, and then we'll go backwards, but I'll show you what I started because I have one of those. Yours is so much
Should
bigger
I
than mine.
so much what?
Bigger than mine.
Because this is my hand spun, and it was almost like an Aran weight. It was some of my early hand spun. You can
Mm.
make it look jaunty.
I love mine. I love those because you just throw it on. It's like a scarf.
Yes.
It does exactly what a scarf does, but it doesn't take up the space of a scarf.
Yeah, you put your coat on and it just squishes
Just,
in and
I love a good turtleneck. I'm so old school, and that is a turtleneck.
And this is the one that I lost in Norway that if you're a long time listener of both of my channel and this channel,
Yeah,
Norway, the Oslo airport shipped this back to me after I proved to them that it was mine. I had to show identification and I had to take pictures from my Ravelry page. Thank God for
I would
Ravelry.
never
That I
have been
had it
able
on
to
my
do that.
Ravelry page to
Yeah.
prove that it was mine.
Oh my gosh. Well, I too, and this is another example of having all the pieces because I keep going to knit and it's like, oh, I don't have the right needles. I don't know where the needle, and I'm so like, by the time I sit down, I'm like frustrated. So it was Sunday. Dave went off skiing and I was like, I need to treat myself today. I felt like I really needed a treat because
Mhm.
the sun hadn't been out forever. And the sun had come out on Sunday, and I was like, I'm going to go to the yarn shop. So I didn't go to my local one because they weren't open. So I went to my favorite, Must Love Yarn, which I
Mm.
love the ladies there. I drove
Is
down.
is that like 30 minutes?
Yeah, it's about 30. It's in Burlington, South Burlington.
That's like a local yarn shop. I mean, I have to
It
drive
is.
30 minutes.
Yeah, I used to call it my local yarn shop when I lived in Vernon.
You
So,
did. That's right.
oh, I just dropped the ball of yarn. Hold, please. Just went
Oh
flying.
no. Oh, and I love that bag.
Oh my gosh. So we'll talk about that. Number one. So I was like, I am going to allot a bag for it. And our friend Heather from A Finch's Nest had just gifted Chelsea and I a bunch of her bags. And I was like, I am going to get the bag. When I go to the yarn store, I'm getting all the needles I need. I don't care if I have them, I'm getting them. Printed out the pattern, minus the cover, but I still have pictures. And just said, I'm going to do this. So I picked out a Michelle Wong, who is my favorite cable. She's probably my favorite designer, period. Unfortunately,
Yes.
I don't think she's designing anymore.
No, I don't think so, but you went through a Michelle Wong era, like years ago. I remember you knitting on
Yes.
those cable sweaters.
Well, I knit one, I forgot. It's a great sweater. Great sweater. Stone cutter.
Yes.
The stone cutter.
Stonecutter. Good memory.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. When that was before I even started dyeing, I think. And then I made like one Christmas, I made everyone her quadri hat.
Yep,
Yeah,
you
something like
did. You made
that.
like 10 of them. I swear it was
With the big
crazy.
pom-poms. Lily wears Chelsea's all the time. It's her favorite hat. So anyway, so I looked on Brooklyn Tweed because she did design for Brooklyn Tweed for a long, I don't know if forever. Um, I also bought one of her books. I wonder if this is in there. Anyways, I was like, I know working out of a book is going to be a struggle with charts. So I bought it again on Ravelry, which I am happy to do. Designers work so hard for so little money. Um, and it's called the Row Sweater.
Hmm.
So it is, I wanted cables. I wanted a million cables. I am a cable knitter. I love knitting cables. So this is the back.
Whoa. I
I know.
love that.
And you know what?
Oof.
I'm not going to say, like, it can be insulting to say it's not hard at all, because for some people it would be very hard. For
Mhm.
me, it is how my brain works. And I settle into charts very easily. I am working from a chart from the charts. It's 3 charts. I want to find the front picture. Look at the band, the button band.
I love that. I wouldn't put any buttons on that, right?
I'm not
There's no
going
buttons.
to.
Yeah, no,
I don't think so.
that's like a shawl collar almost.
Yes, it's very shawl-like. So
Gorgeous.
hardest part about yarn shops is getting a sweater's quantity worth of yarn, especially
Absolutely.
a cabled sweater.
Yeah.
But
Look
Jen,
at,
one of the owners who I love so much,
and they have a podcast too.
yes, must love, not must love.
Yeah, Must Love
Yeah,
Yarn podcast.
I get her so confused with mustache yarn.
Oh,
Anyways, Jen was so lovely. We really looked and looked, and she was like, I can order something. I was like, no, I really want to start it today.
yeah.
This is the Ella Ray. I wish I brought it up. I didn't.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't think the band is in here. No. Um, it's Ella Ray tweed or something like that. It is not technically a worsted weight yarn, but it's what I would call a thin worsted weight yarn. It's
Okay.
between DK and worsted weight, but because of the needles I'm using, it's I think it's perfect.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it looks fantastic.
So there's 3 charts. Well, there's a moss stitch area,
Mm-hmm.
and this chart, then this chart, then again this chart, which is the same as the previous one, but in the opposite direction, moss stitch. It's done in pieces. The drape is what I'm dreaming about.
It looks drapey. It looks like it's not 100% wool, or is it?
I don't know. I
Wonder if
really
it's like
don't
a wool
actually.
alpaca or something.
It's not, I don't think it's alpaca because I refuse to make a sweater in alpaca because it grows too much.
Oh,
It grows
yeah.
forever. I did it once and the sweater just became a maxi dress.
I
So
did that with bamboo.
yeah, so
Oh my God.
I'll try to remember for next time. So again, I'm super committed to it. So I have my bag. I want to show you my accessories. So I use a chart and I use highlighter tape and I put it above the row I'm working on.
Yes.
And then when I finish it, because there's three, so I finish chart A, I move it up. And I move
Hmm.
it up 2 rows because the wrong side is always a rest row, right? You're knitting your knits, purling your
Hmm.
purls. So I just move it up 2 and then I go backwards.
Oh,
So I
nice.
do
And
that.
that's a good tip for anyone who's new to using charts. Your tendency is to think you want to block what you've done. No, it's super helpful if with the highlighter tape or whatever you're using to block what's coming because then you can build upon and you're seeing it
It took
grow.
me years. And when I figured that out, I was like, why has no one told me that? It's a same
Me too.
same with cross stitch. If you're using a magnetic bar, don't have
Hmm.
it under your row, have it over your row, because then it
Yeah.
focuses your eyes so well. So yeah,
Yes.
so then I have my 2 sets of needles and I have my cable needles. I do not suggest wooden cable needles. I am going to hunt for my better needles. This is all they had. It's way too sticky. I want to glide right off.
That's another thing I've never settled in on is do I like the kind of cable needle that dips a little? Do I like straight or do I like the loop that you just I know
Hey,
I don't think I like the loop. Yeah.
they had the loop and I was like, nope, I'm not doing the loop. So yeah, so I'm so loving this project. And
That's
again, I'm trying to stay focused. Enough of this like all over the map. Like we spend too much money to
yeah.
not complete something,
Yeah,
right?
no. Totally agree. Totally
And
agree.
and I'm loving, I was watching Brenda and Laura, the serial starter, is all of a sudden becoming a finisher. And you can see it on her face, how happy she is that she's finishing. And I'm like cheering her on so much because, oh my
Yes.
gosh, they're all so beautiful.
Yes.
I say, yay, keep serial starting if that's what makes you happy. But I am loving
Hmm.
seeing her finished projects.
I also liked on their latest episode how she's, with the help of Brenda, they were sorting her works in progress, ones that were just started, medium started, or maybe almost done. And that's
Mhm.
another good way if you really want to finish things to take a look stock of everything, sort them like that, and then you can grab the ones that are almost done, grab the one that is hitting you, because it is a balance between what you're feeling, the inspiration to work on, you get that drive to work on versus getting something done. You
But
know?
you have to give yourself a chance to be inspired,
Yeah.
right? It's like that is what I think I've started to do. It's like, well, so I'm going to show you the other two that I want to finish.
Yes.
Um, and and I've been doing this since January, going back and forth and back and forth. And then I was like, no, no, no. Like, so I know, I think this one I want in here. And I had to open it up, look at it, and really look at what needed to be done, what I had done, and how much I had enjoyed. Now, I will say I don't enjoy the rose at all. I love the rose, but I don't enjoy it. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Do I enjoy the letters? Not so much.
Me neither.
But that's where I balance it and say, well, I'll do a little of the rose and then I'll jump down to something I really want to work on.
Hmm.
But if I hadn't taken this out and thought about it and said, well, where do I want it? I
Hmm.
wouldn't be inspired by it. I would just pass it by. And what I'm excited about is look at these motifs. Like,
Yeah.
and I have almost a good chunk of that piece done. So
Yeah.
I could like have a goal, like I want to do that one and that one,
Hmm.
and then move in. And the thing with motifs is quite often they're symmetrical, which
Yeah.
makes stitching very easy.
That's what I'm not looking forward to the rose either. And I think it's reminding me of that. What's it, confetti stitching, where you gotta just I almost feel like I want to replace it with something.
I know, and I love the look of it. I mean,
Me
it's
too.
stunning. It's stunning. But yeah, and who knows where I left off and
I love the colors of
I
that chart. I love it on your What are we using? Is it the
Oh, this is nor'easter.
yeah, we're using nor'easter. It just pops on the nor'easter. I've got the whole outside border done. That thing, I loved doing that outside border. It was
Yes.
so sing-songy. I just zigzagged
I
around.
have, see, that's the other thing. I'm looking at it saying I have the whole main border done. I just have to add all the flowers, which again,
Mhm.
that's just like sit down and go, thread a few
Yeah.
needles and go.
Yeah, you can actually watch TV and do that. Listen to a movie or,
Yeah. I don't really watch TV. I have it on all the
Yeah.
time. And Dave is kind of a saint because I'm always like, what just happened? Who's
Yeah.
that?
Oh,
Oh,
I
that's
hate
him. Oh, okay,
he
I
is
get it.
a saint.
He is a saint because that's all I have in there. A lot of people would be like, put it down and watch. And
Yeah.
he doesn't know me to be any different than that.
That's
So yeah. So that's one. So I'm going between the downstairs bathroom, which is basically a big room, and this room, or my landing up here that has lots of walls and pick another crazy one. I don't know. So I
Mhm.
have that one, and then this is the last one that's kind of like been on my mind. I love this one, and I'm using Picture This Plus again. So you know how old it is if I'm using Picture This Plus.
Mhm.
That was my go-to. I probably didn't print off the head. So it's from Sassafras Samplers,
Ah,
is Sassy Jacks, Mary.
yes.
And I'm just gonna see if I have the cover. I
And
don't.
I just saw that she's got a video out. It's like 12 minutes long, and their shop is going to open up finally. It's been
About
a long
that.
haul.
Yes. So this is Mary Good, and I grabbed this because of the Adam and Eve, which is really interesting. I don't know why. I feel like I've always wanted to do an Adam and Eve, and this was my first one, and then of course Lily's. But I just remember really enjoying working on this sampler. And I have the whole border done.
Yeah.
And I really was enjoying it. And I thought, this was so little time that I put into it.
Yes.
So
That's
that,
another bright sampler. That's another fun one.
yes. So maybe that will go, maybe I'll do my landing up here, which no one will see but me, but I don't care. It's my house. And why do I care who else sees it?
You give landing tours to
Yes.
people who come over.
If you come over the first time, you get to see it. So, and it's where my office is. It's where Dave's office is. We go to bed so early. We're up here early and
Mhm.
yeah, so those are my three. Well, then we have our Satsuma that we can talk about whenever you're ready.
Yeah. I mean, why don't, well, let's do the Satsuma talk.
Okay.
That's
So
our favorite.
you got more in, which inspired me to pull them out again. And this is the kind of stitching that I can just pull out and
Mhm.
do it. So this
Yes.
is the one I have left to do. And I did start it. Look at the colors.
I have got to start mine.
I am telling you, I cannot wait till the new ones come. So for Christmas, I have this one, I have this and this one.
Yes.
I just ordered the four calling birds, which I'm so excited about. The
Yeah.
four calling birds, the Mrs. Claus with the lollipop, and the Santa in the
Yeah. So Calling Birds is the latest of her 12 days of Christmas. So we're up
look
to
at that
four.
phone.
I know. And the phone, the details, I tell you, the phone, there are buttons on the rotary phone. It's just, oh, I mean, just
Well,
look at what you get. You get your
I know.
needle,
You get
your
everything.
floss.
You need scissors, that's it.
I I'll throw in scissors. Just pick a pair of scissors if you get them from me in here. I mean, these are just,
And do you know, when I saw that, I saw it at a glance before you talked about it. I did not even see that telephone.
mm-hmm.
Like, brilliant. Oh, I ordered her. I'm so excited.
I know. She is so
Sweet.
cute. Look at that face. I love her dress and her boots. Look at the little beads on the boots. Her Jody from Satsuma Street, her attention to detail is just phenomenal. I mean, uh, look at the reindeer, look at Rudolph looking out the back. I love these.
I
I mean,
love,
just a few stitches, she's got Santa with a personality. I just love it.
is an illustrator. That is, I
Yeah.
think that's why I'm so drawn to her. I know.
And I'm not even into penguins, but look at that scarf.
I think I'm gonna have to order more. I just was like, what I'm finding is if I do three at a time, I get them done. I
Mhm.
don't then have a pile and I get so excited when I get them done.
Yeah, I got I've really restocked. Yes, I actually have those in my shop as well.
You do. And look at this one's almost done.
Look at
I
that.
don't even like cats. Sorry, I shouldn't say that out loud.
Not my thing either.
Not my thing, but look at that. So that one I have left to do. I'm dying to see. And look at that one.
And specs. Yes, I decided to dip my toes in what she had available for Halloween. She's completely out of Halloween right now. I'm sure I bet that's next for her to stock up.
I hope she's going to get some new ones. I do want to talk about this little bowl that I talked about.
Well, yeah.
So that, oh, you're not going to be able to see it. It has all my sequins. You can't
Yeah,
see.
there they
There.
are.
So I have them in here. They're all mixed up because she uses a lot of the same. I just
Mhm.
stick my needle, grab it, and keep going. It's not going anywhere. It's a game changer for these.
Yeah, and it's not like hard to put the sequin on. You literally just string it on your needle and then do your next stitch.
Mhm.
And it puts it in place.
Usually the sequins always have a bead. So you do
Mhm.
sequence bead and then go down. She has great directions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then I fell in love with, she's got a really pretty spring kit. So if you want to decorate, each kit comes with enough to make two. So you're making two butterflies. And again, the detail, hard to see through the paper, but she's
And
got
you
this.
know that
And
in
I'm
real life,
since you can make two, I'm seeing like
trees.
trees, or I'm seeing like swag with what that swag, that's the wrong word.
Yeah. Or yeah, I know what you mean. Oh, I need to
Look
get
at the
next. This
bunny
is my next.
tails. There's the bunny tails.
See what I see that is you go out and you take a twig off of the birch tree in your yard. I have a birch tree. I love birch. Oh, you have four? Why did I think there was only three?
I have
Oh, I'm gonna
four.
have to get these. Darn it.
I know. They're so, I mean, look at this floss color. Who doesn't want to play with that color? Anyways, I, I went gangbusters with the Satsuma.
I may have to work on one of these today in between my knitting. I really haven't in a while. They become quite addictive, I think. Like I show them all the time, but I have this is my Christmas ones. I won't put them with my ornaments. These are like fire in the house. These are what you grab. These and Natalie's clay ornaments that she
Yeah,
made.
fire in the house.
Fire in the house. And look at. Oh,
Yeah, look at,
I love them. I
yeah.
love.
The the other thing that, are we done with Satsuma?
Yes, we are. I have to fix these though because I'm so afraid they're going to get ruined. Hold on. You can talk.
So okay, so I'm sure many of you have heard that coming out this July 9th, I think it's technically starting, Lori Holt, our friend Lori, she is coming out with Punch Needle. And I am
Not till
so,
July.
yeah, July 9th. I mean, all I have right now is to show you, this is going to be the summer kit that comes out, and it's punch needle with her yarns, she calls this her chunky thread. It's a sport weight, beautiful cotton. And I'm so excited to try and do a little crochet just to get the feel of what this yarn is like. But she sells them in 50-gram skeins, and there's like 30 some colors. But this is summer and I'm going all in with this. I'm going to have this available in the shop. I know I'm going to, but this is the big piece. It's the bee skep. I mean, I'm
Oh,
seeing, it's just beautiful. And then the
I-
pattern also comes with the bird oval and then these four, which I think I'm going to make into coasters.
okay, dumb question.
Yeah.
The bee scap, do you make it into a pillow? Do you frame it, or is there, it's whatever?
It is whatever. It's a 10 by 10 square.
Okay, you can get a frame ready made.
Yep. And actually, she is carrying some frames too, as well, that I'm going to look into.
Mm.
But my plan is to have the pattern, to have the yarn that you need for this, her yarn. I already have Ultra Punches in the shop, and I will also carry her special weaver's cloth that works really well with her yarn, supposedly. So I have the test prototype here. So I'm going to try it out in between now and the next episode, and I'll let you know. But this is a whole, like, I want to say yard. Yeah, 38 by 44 of her weaver's cloth that she specially sourced for this. And so just knowing that this is all coming got me so back into punch needle, like thinking, what do I have going that I didn't finish? And
Can
so
I,
I
before
went
you
ahead.
show, can I ask questions about Lori
Yeah.
Holt before you
Yeah.
show? We talked about this at the beginning. I can't imagine using that punch needle tool with that yarn. It
Yes.
seems so like it's going to break it.
No, because the Ultra Punch comes in a packet and it has 3 needle sizes, small, medium, and large. And when we use floss, like for this one that I just finished, I used 6 strands of DMC floss using the medium size needle.
Okay.
Supposedly you use the large needle
Okay. I'm
for,
gonna trust her.
yeah.
I need
And
one again because I can't find mine.
yeah, so I have these in the shop, and
Okay, and then you're going to be, so they won't come out till you won't have them till July 9th. That's
I
killing.
will have them before July 9th. And July 9th, I think, is when her first video drops. She is actually going to have videos that show how to do it, like introductory punch needle videos, and then we're going to be making these projects alongside with her.
Now, I feel like we might have talked about this. Sorry, I have so many questions because
I
I'm
love
so
questions.
excited about this.
Me too.
Do you need all the colors?
No.
Okay.
First, from what I've gathered, and information is slowly coming out to us about it. I found out, of course, I have it written down somewhere. I believe for the summer one, there's 18 different colors,
Okay.
I think. And
Okay.
then I didn't show the fall. Look at the fall. Look at the fall.
I want it. I want them all.
This is another 10 by 10 square. So
You did.
I'm seeing a
Grouping on the wall
grouping.
with next
Yep.
time we meet, I've got to bring in my wool. What do you call that? Stitching the wool thing. And I'm
Rug.
gonna, no, the buttonhole stitch, buttermilk basin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna help me remember next time because I have all these squares made for a bed rug, which is never gonna get made, but I'm gonna frame the squares.
Brilliant.
Okay, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, find a place in your house that's empty, like above a doorway, or that would be.
They're probably 12 by 12.
Ooh. Well,
Okay.
these are 10 by 10. These are 8-inch circles. And this is a 6-inch circle.
Oh,
And so fun. I'm really looking forward to punching with something a little thicker than floss as well, because
so
I like the look of it.
same. It's a lot like rug punch, right?
Yes.
It's that's why I was wondering if you use more of that kind of a tool.
Nope.
You
When
might
you,
be able to if you wanted to, I have a feeling.
I mean, if you compare, let me just get an embroidery floss next to, okay, so the
Oh,
white is the embroidery floss, and the
yeah.
fuchsia color is her, what does she call it? Oh, it's on here.
Thread.
Chunky thread, which
Chunky
is
thread.
sport weight yarn. So it's not much of a difference
No.
now that I'm looking at it.
So will you be selling as with different options, like a kit with everything versus the
Yeah.
individual pieces?
I thought about selling like the whole shebang. I love this Morgan hoop punch. I also carry Nurge makes an ultra, it's a punch needle. Let me pull my This is also really nice. It holds really well because of the thickness. It does not have a groove in it, which surprised me that it held and when I say groove, I mean these are non-slip. So you see there's that groove right there, and then there's the male version of the groove on the hoop, and that really holds your fabric tight because punch needle is definitely a craft that you need good tension on your.
Tight and not moving it, right? Like not rearranging. It needs to have the whole.
Well, that's what I heard, but this one I
You
moved.
moved?
And I did just fine. Now, I found that the tension of the fabric, I couldn't get as tight because this is a lumpy, bumpy side and this was the thinner, just the fabric side. But I made it work by just holding it down with my thumb near the area I was punching, and that gave enough tension. I think that just kind of comes with, I don't know, practice. But yeah, so back to the whole kit thing. I thought about selling the whole shebang, but I know some of us have a punch needle or, some of us have pieces and parts. So I'm making one listing that has drop down for everything and just select what you want. Yeah.
I can't wait. I'm gonna, so everyone start saving your pennies because it is a little pricey because there's so much involved.
Yes. But
But
once you get everything you need, it's super
it,
fun.
yes.
And like this, I had this start. This is actually a pattern. First of all, I'm jumping all over the map. First of all, I had this Yazzie bag that I hadn't figured out a use for, and I'm loving it for punch needle. This is the Yazzie. I kept, I had this is the Yazzie trifold project case. And what I love about it is it's got a little opening on this side and an opening on this side. So I actually had two projects in here, and then I had my punch needle threads here for this project, my punch needle threads here for this project. And in the center, I've got my accoutrements. So I've got my scissors that I like. And for punch needle, I really like having a curved scissor because you can
Oh,
really
yeah.
get close. I highly
That's
recommend. I
that's
should get
definitely a
some of
rug
these in
hooking
my shop.
item.
I don't have those yet. But I have my punch needle in here, and then when I'm using the Nurge, I have a little Phillips head screwdriver that you can really get this tight. Otherwise, I just couldn't get my big thumb. I don't know. It was just really hard for me to tighten it enough. And then when you use this, you really can tighten it. And then it got really taut in here. What I like though about using this kind of stand for punch needle is that I can set it on the table, set it on my lap. Whereas this, I have there's just another element of like making sure I'm not punching my lap or
Yeah.
holding it up, it just, but I like this too. It works great. So if you're in the camp of this kind of hoop for punch needle, this is a great one.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
so
I use a rug hooking frame for my punch needle. And that is amazing that what you have in your hand, because what I find with punch needle is I don't know where to put it when I'm no longer working on it. And I end up losing all the pieces.
yes.
And
That's
it's
what
like,
I loved about this because you can just fold the punch needle in here, like I
yep.
have it in here. The one that I finished is from Old Tattered Flag. I used to have it in my shop kitted up, and I just used three different color DMCs.
Love it.
And I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. The picture on there has it on the top of a box. Uh,
Yeah.
I don't know what I'll do with it.
I could see a nice frame.
Yeah, it was super fun. But some of the previous punch needles I've done, I used a Hobby Lobby frame. This is a Teresa Kogut. I think I'll restock this now in my shop.
We did that as a punch along.
Yes. This
See,
was
that's
like,
another one. Like I started it and where are all the like, ooh.
I love him. So
Mm.
3 years ago. And then the I've got
I
you
have
my
that one.
pretty that
I have
Paige
that
framed.
one
Mhm.
started and oh my gosh, I enjoy it's so fun. It's big.
Yeah, this
It's
is
a
a big
big
one.
punch needle piece. Yeah.
And this one I actually used Valdani threads for, and you can see in the background I kind of played around with the tonality of the Valdani and made it look like, oh, the poor
Yeah.
pumpkin was like freaking out, you know. So I just had
That's
fun.
that's very much a rug hooking technique. Backgrounds on rug hooking. There's all sorts of different ways.
Mhm.
Oh, this is gonna make me want to pull out my rugs. Oh my Lord.
And then the other one that I did that I love this designer, these are more detailed and oh, what did I do with her? What's her name? Where did she go? I'll
Make
hold it up.
good.
I'll put the name down.
Yes, yes.
Now this one, the details, there's some smaller areas where I use 2 strands in the punch needle and some thicker, like the yellow, I use 6 strands of the in the punch needle. But I love this designer. She's a lot of times in Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. And by now I should have put her name on the bottom of the screen.
Yes.
But she is very well known in
Yeah.
Punch Needle realm.
Didn't you get that design out of punch needle and
Maybe I did.
think you
I think
did.
I did.
I'm 99% positive.
Yeah, and I really wish I could find her sheets, but I can't.
I can't remember her name either.
Yeah. So,
So excited about this.
I am so excited too. I can't wait. I literally got the boxes of yarn like yesterday. So I'm really excited to crochet with this and see how I like it with crochet. And I can tell already it's a very soft cotton and it's got a nice sheen to it. I think it'll be beautiful. I mean, Lori Holt doesn't do anything that's not
Yes.
super
Cotton,
cool.
for me, cotton with knitting and crocheting, it's not as pliable as other
Right.
yarns. So it will take having said that, I still love using it for both those things. It's just getting used to like, oh, it just doesn't have as much of this. It's stiffer.
Right.
But usually whatever we're making with it, that's why, and it serves the project very well.
Exactly. Exactly. So some other things. So any other questions, Sue, about the punch
Um,
needle?
I just want it as soon as possible. Oh, my yarn is being delivered. Yay.
Oh, how fun.
Yeah, my
I thought I'd
cashmere
just
baby is
quickly
here.
show.
Do
Oh,
you
good.
want to see what I bought?
I do.
Because I do not buy things like this ever. Do you want to talk about that first, though?
I do. I held it up. This is my little glass bluebird
I
of
love it.
happiness. Did you ever hear about these bluebirds of happiness?
Well, we can knit them. We know that.
I know. Well, they
Pattern.
started out as a glass thing. This is vintage. It's from, I don't know, the 80s maybe. And oh gosh, do I have
Did you get it on Whatnot?
I did. I got it from Michelle and Colleen, I believe, on Whatnot, because I had pulled up this Bluebird of Happiness by JBW Designs.
Sorry, I'm
I thought
rearranging
this
my
was
body.
such a pretty, it just got such a nice, it's the bluebird, may the bluebird of happiness always reside within you. And I just thought that's such a pretty stitch. And then I was like, oh, well, what is this bluebird of happiness all about? And so, of course, I had to do a little bit of research. And I believe that, of course, I don't have the stuff around me right now, but but this glass artist from California just started making these, and they spread like wildfire. I wildfire. I bet a bunch of you out there have these in your homes, but this was like in the 80s and
Yeah.
90s, and the sentiment was just he wanted to spread love and kindness and joy around the country. And I think he had some bad things happen in his life, and so it's a beautiful story. And I just thought I need to stitch this or a portion of this. And in this pattern, I have these in my shop. There's, I'll just quickly, there's different things you can stitch that are smaller. So I thought it'd be really pretty to maybe do a pillow with one of the bluebird motifs and some of the, and then have this next to it, for display.
Let's just face it, we all need those with our year ahead. Holy cow, let's all get one and put them in our windows as a sign of we've got this, we can do it.
I know. So
Oh, I
I'm gonna
love
I'm
it.
gonna start that. That's kind of fun. And then I did get more of this Plum Street and Heartstring Samplery. Last year they did a little collaboration, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Here's the float like a butterfly, and the sting like the bee is behind here, but you guys have all seen it. But I have more kits of these. Let's see if I
Okay.
can get it out. This was a really cool collaboration. And I don't know, I haven't seen people finishing it,
And
but
it's
I
not
am like,
gigantic, which is so nice.
you remember seeing this collaboration?
I do remember seeing it, and I do want to start something for Chelsea. Like I might do that rug hook or that punch needle bee skep because she's all about the bees, and
Yeah.
Charlie
Oh,
loves bees. She literally like wants to hold them, and they want to grow
oh,
bees. They want to get bees eventually.
oh, I can see
I'm
that.
so excited about. I wish it was going to be this year.
On the Fiber Junction Millcast, she's a beekeeper, the one that's pregnant. I wish I knew.
Okay.
And she was saying how she had heard at a local farmer's market, she met another beekeeper that uses wool to insulate the beehives over the winter. Yeah,
Wow.
I know.
Interesting.
I have
Oh,
one left, land that I love. I know some people are starting it up. If you want it already fully kitted and ready to go, I've got one left.
love it.
I have I shown this one? I don't know. Hope
No.
Song. So pretty. My heart remembers hope when the winter bird sings. Heartstring Samplery. Kind of
Oh,
into these smaller ones.
I wish I was. I am. I just keep being attracted to Oh, I love that one.
I love Anna Morgan. And I want to also, I'll pop these in.
I love that one too.
Kathy Barrick. I don't have it with anything. It's just standalone pattern, but that's in the shop too.
I
Um,
love that one. The thing that is stopping me is it's got so much stitching on it, like solid.
really?
Doesn't it look like that? It feels very solid.
Yes, it does.
It does. And I love it for that, but right now I know it will be too distracting for me. But you also can just like do the outer stitches and then fill in if you've got retreats you're going to. It's perfect.
To me, that looks a lot better for the brain than
Mm,
consider the lilies.
I know, you're right.
That's
You're
just
right. You're
how
right.
I
Yeah, you're right.
have I shared this on a I don't know if I shared this, but I found this for like it was $3 at an estate sale. But it was half off day, so I got for $1.50.
And
And I finally have these kitted up in my shop, and you know how cute this is going to be on here?
so cute.
I
I
know.
also see, you know what else I see on there?
What?
The Teresa's mermaid. You did it on really small. That's what I would put on there.
Oh,
I
that's
have
fun
that
too.
one started.
Maybe I
I'll show
should put that one on the back and I could switch them around. I could put two on
you.
there. You have the
Yes, yes.
mermaid?
I thought I had it right here
Because
because
I think actually in oh, I always forget what that one's called, but it was the Stitch West sampler that Teresa took with her. I forget what that's called
oh
with the
my,
mermaid. I
oh,
believe,
it would be stunning on there.
oh my gosh, and you could make that mermaid on a bigger count.
Yes, or you could just, I mean, she's got so many pieces to this. Let's just look
Oh,
at the book.
please.
Because you have the book, don't you?
I
You
have it.
do the littler version, this
It's
version.
called Seaworthy.
It's so gorgeous.
Yes. And I almost, yes, see, you could put like this one down there or this one. You're right. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Just
could
because
do
I love
both.
this design so much, that's what I went right to. I need
Can
one
I
of those
double?
whales.
And then I could hang it this way one day and this way the other day. Okay.
You
I
could.
like,
Do you have more? Because I
no,
have something that's great.
I don't think so. I mean, if going back to punch needle, I do have a Teresa Kogut punch needle already in the shop that's fully kitted. This is her Christmas one.
Love those.
I know, they're really fun. Anyways,
Okay, so I went shopping because I forgot, I think it was probably Brenda or Laura talked about, I think it was, but you know what? I can't remember. Number 12 Stitch Co.
oh,
She's in like, I'm not going to say it right. I want to say like Turkey or Russia or somewhere.
huh,
It's the same super fast. So let's do this. It's backwards. Is it backwards for you?
no, no.
Okay. So because I have this new thing where I want all the right things with the right places, I never have thread holders. And thread holders for me are a game changer as far as not wasting thread, being super organized. I used to just have like the rat's nest.
Yeah,
Now,
I remember.
so I went on because they were showing these gorgeous cards.
I can't believe those already came.
They came so fast.
Wow.
Look
Well,
at them. So this is the killer. I need 2 new projects, but I also got, this to me is the biggest treat. I am so funny because if I want to do a project and it's expensive, I will spend the money. But for little like things, it's like, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. So I have not needed one of these for so long. And now I want a million of them.
yes.
I
Isn't that
want
funny?
a million because it's going to help me stay organized. And it also, I can't wait to have a project. I know I'm going to be drawn to the project just because of this deliciousness.
It's the same concept of progress keepers that are sparkly and pretty on my knitting. I don't
Jewelry.
use them. It's the jewelry. Exactly.
I just attach them. And it's like, oh, I love that stitch marker, or I love that.
Mhm.
What's the other name
I
for?
yeah, but what do you call those?
I don't know, but I love them.
Gloss rings? Bling ring? Uh,
I don't know.
yeah,
I don't know, but I don't care. I want one for every single project.
yeah.
So I'm
That's
going to
super.
order more. Then in this move, I've lost, oh, I should have included needles in my order from you. I can't find needles. I can't find them.
Mm.
So I was like, I'll just throw the needles in this order. I do like Bowens.
Hmm.
And you know what? Good materials, when an artist uses good materials, the whole process is better. I
Hmm.
wish I wish more people understood that whole thing. And I've talked about it. I don't know if I've ever talked about it here, but when I was in art school, I worked in the store. That was one of my jobs. And so I got a really good discount and I always had I had the best brushes, the best paints, and all of the teachers, when they wanted to demonstrate something, they came and demonstrated on my stuff because of that. And I think that's who taught me was, you know what, like you need good materials. It's so
Right.
important. Your tools are so important.
Mhm.
So this kind of falls into it for me. I don't know why. It feels like it's part of the process. It'll be more fun. Will I do it for every project? Probably not. But then they sent these as extras for the backs of so consider the lilies. If I don't lose it by the time or bend it, is going to get probably this one.
Yeah, we'll put it in that project bag with it.
But I think it would get bent.
Oh, then
They're
don't do
not,
it.
yeah, I'm gonna leave it here on my desk somewhere. So that's what I bought, and it was like,
How
I
fun.
couldn't wait till it got here. I don't think it was, oh, I can't remember what I spent, but it wasn't
Yeah.
gobs of money.
Hmm.
It was really fun. I want to do it again. I want to place another order.
I know. Now I'm like, oh, I guess I should have taken a
Yeah.
jotted that down.
Yeah. So it's number 12 Stitch Co. Everyone talks about them because I've heard it over and over and over again. And for some reason, I think I was in my like let's get organized, Susan mode, which won't last, but I was like, that will help. I'm going to order them right now.
Yeah, I love that. I love those. I love the mini version too for scissors because I got a couple of those on my nice Kohanas. And when I grab for the scissors, you grab the whole, it just is easier to use the scissors when they have a little something hanging
Yes.
off of them. I don't
Yeah.
know.
You can find them. That's the other piece. I feel like you know where they are. I don't know.
Hmm.
So I'm feeling much better this time around than our last video where I was just frustrated, I think.
Yeah, good. I'm looking at this mess I've created around me now that I need to clean up. Oh my gosh.
Same.
Always.
Tried to be a little organized, but I'm not.
Yeah.
But now I'm highly motivated and I do have a bunch of stuff I have to do.
One question for you.
Yes, go for it.
What did you use to knit your sweater?
Oh, let's talk. I always forget that I have it on. I
I've been
love,
wanting to ask the whole episode.
I love living in Vermont because I wear sweaters.
It's like
I
Michigan.
wear them. Yeah, and Connecticut was just as cold. It was the same. Like the temperature isn't a whole lot different.
Really?
Just feels different. So this is the Waves of Change by who? Bayron
Bayron, handmade,
Handmade. Okay.
something.
I've made it in the cardigan. I've made two cardigans, same, just cardigan. And then this one, it is my Wonder. That was our signature color of last year
Oh.
in chunky.
And you didn't hold it with anything.
Nope. I knit this so fast. I wanted to wear it last Christmas. The day after Christmas, we were meeting Kristen's family. What I think we had met them, maybe not. And I was like, oh, I really want to have a hand knit sweater. And I finished it and I love it. And
Oh,
before we go, I wish I had brought it up. I'm so mad. We're doing a fundraiser. We are joining in with, oh, you have it. You got it. Yay. Okay.
I
Thank you.
love these colors together.
So Boston Jen, go on Instagram and look at Boston Jen and her Fearless fundraiser. We are participating in it. You can go watch the YouTube video with Jen and myself over on YouTube under Legacy Fiber Arts, which will explain it all. It is lasting the month of February. We are donating 50% of sales on this colorway in steel toe, cozy toe, and DK weight. They're
I got the
selling like,
cozy toes.
yes.
Oops.
So the cozy toes, go look at the pictures on our website. The cozy toes, always more white shows through because it grabs the color so fast that it
Mm.
leaves more white space. So that definitely has a different look than our steel toes or DK, but it's the same colors.
And I mean, Sue, I know I have it combined, but there's no pooling or it's
Mm.
just so nicely. I can't wait to knit this one up. I don't know. I think I'm going to do socks.
You got cozy toes for
Yeah.
socks. Amazing. Do that
Yeah. I think I need
pattern
socks.
I talked about.
I think I'm just going to do regular socks. I think I might put it through my machine for the tube. And then I'm going to probably look in my Legacy Fiber Arts stash for something complimentary. Maybe
Yes.
in this blue or this.
Yes. If you don't have anything, I can send you minis of both those colors.
What happened?
A shelf there that I keep my feet on and it just collapsed. Oh,
Susan
Lordy.
is falling
Okay.
apart. The cricket farm is.
Yes, the crooked is very crooked, believe me. But yeah, so go check it out. And if it's not in the shop, I'm very aware and I keep filling it back up again. Um,
Mhm.
if it's not there, we are going to be dyeing it through the entire month of February for anyone that needs it. And it's selling like crazy, which makes me so happy.
I can't believe, I mean, it's very generous of you, 50%.
Well,
Very generous.
we don't do a lot of these kind of things just because we just don't have time, but Jen
Yeah.
is very
Yeah.
special to us and I would do anything for Jen. Anytime she asks for anything, it's a yes without even knowing
Yeah.
details. And
Yeah.
It is, we have a big platform and it is really important to use it. And sometimes we just get caught up in work and forget. And
Yeah.
so we're so happy to be doing it. So go watch that video so you know what it's all about, where the money is going, because it's so cool.
It really is.
So cool.
In the meantime, my hands are very toasty. I love this.
I love them.
I can't believe I knit two pairs of mittens like in
Wait,
less than a week. These go so fast though.
so fast. And Tin Can Knits, they have the most fan. Now that probably comes in size infantile to adult because their
Yes.
patterns do.
And I believe any weight as
Hmm.
well. So
Yeah. And
yeah.
same with Susan B. Anderson. Her patterns are fantastic. And
Oh, yes.
I buy everything she does. I love her.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. And Tin Can Knits, I actually used their new app to make these.
Yes.
So I
Something
highly recommend.
super cool that I did for Chels when she was pregnant with Lily for her shower gift. I made the antler sweater in a size for Lily and for her. So they had matching sweaters. It was so beautiful.
I need my children to have babies.
Oh, I
Not
know.
soon, but maybe like I should start
You
making.
should start now. I am telling you because I have two babies coming this month in our fam, not my kids, but in the family.
Mhm.
And I have a nephew who they are having a baby, and then my cousin's daughter is having a baby. And I just don't have the desire to be knitting for them right now. And I feel like I want to, but I can't seem to muster up maybe I'll go to my local yarn shop and buy like some fantastic Malabrigo and knit
Mhm.
sweaters. We'll see. And they
And
both
they're
really appreciate it.
okay. I was gonna say that makes a difference too. I don't
Yes.
want to make something, then they just make wear it once, take a picture, send it to me. We love this sweater.
Well, unfortunately, because babies grow so quickly, that's
True.
what happens. But I think I would make larger sizes for like the following year.
Mm-hmm. Knitting for Olive has some beautiful, like that little bear little hat and just
Yes.
cute, quick things that I wouldn't feel
Well,
bad
there
about.
is there is that bonnet. Who made it's so gorgeous. Chelsea's made it, and it's the construction is super fun. Is it a
Mhm.
petite knits?
Probably, I think I know which one you're talking about.
Oh, it is so sweet. So could do that. And then I don't know, like I think they're both pretty, like doesn't matter boy or girl, color, you know what I mean? I think they're both really like open to like color and
Mhm.
maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do that. We'll
A little
see.
accessory is so fun for, I think I enjoyed the fun little hats and
Yeah.
roller
It's first
blankets.
baby for both, so
Wow, how exciting.
it is. It's very exciting. I'm just so tired. Do you ever get like, it's like, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that, but
I know.
the energy to get it all done and their showers are like in April.
Oh, so you have time.
I used to be like, yeah, I'll just do it tomorrow. Now I'm like, oh, I have so much work to do. How will I get that done?
Well, you're busy dyeing yarn too in between all that.
It's okay. It's all good. I enjoy it. I love
And
it.
tomorrow you have a fun day planned.
I have a fun day with our friend Michelle. I'm so excited. I planned a really yummy lunch that I have to go do some prep work for. It gives
That's
me a
so
reason
nice.
to like freshen my house up.
Yeah. And when you have somebody come to your new home, she's been
He's
there
been
before, but
one.
you just feel like you're making it more homey because you're
Yes.
seeing your house with other people that you know in it. I don't know how to explain it.
Yes, I totally agree. Because she's really been the only like friend that I've had
Mhm.
come. So it's so nice. And I'm craving seeing people I know. Oof,
I know. Is
just,
Chelsea going to be there?
Chelsea's coming with the girls. They have
Oh,
a
good.
library commitment, so they might be a little late, but
Oh, very fun.
yeah, so it's
I'm
fun.
getting excited for the Rose City yarn crawl thing that I'm doing with Joyce and Joyce's friend,
And when is that?
Ruby Moss Cottage. That's like the first weekend in March, so
Tomorrow.
I know. I'm so excited. Yeah.
January was such a long haul and February is gonna fly by.
Oh, 29 days. I felt like January flew by personally,
Oh, we
but
had
I know it
zero
drags.
sun,
Yeah.
zero, zero.
Yeah.
I can't even say it dragged by. It just was not my favorite month. It was really, really gray and it really was affecting me for sure. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
George found out he got into all the schools he applied to, which is a huge feat. So now he's got to make choices. Yes, that made January drag a little bit for me because we were waiting on the last one. So now it's a matter of visiting the campuses for student admit day, you know.
yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh. My heart stops just thinking about January for that reason. I couldn't stand any of that. Any of
yeah.
it. Do you think he'll stay in Michigan? Do we know?
Yes, definitely staying in Michigan for undergrad. We're lucky here in the state. We've got a couple of really great state schools and we've got some great private schools too. So, yeah,
Mm,
for undergrad, it's kind
yeah.
of nice. You know, you got to think about the value of, I mean, if there were no good schools here, yes, we would make the investment with our son, you know, where they would like to go, but we're really grateful that you don't need to go
Yeah.
for undergrad.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so that was a big deal, but
Yay, George. I love George. I love all your kids and I don't even know them.
exactly.
I just
Same.
feel like George, I've heard more because he's so creative. Is Alex creative? I don't know that about him.
Yeah, he is in his
See?
own little
Yeah.
way. Definitely. I think George, though, he's lived at home, you know, so he's like coming in and out more in the last 2, 3 years, but Alex is
Yeah.
gone. So, but
And
anyway.
his college life is flying by. Like I
Oh,
remember like when you were at this point with Alex and now it's like
mhm.
he's halfway done.
He is, I know. Technically,
Right?
he's a junior. So
So will he graduate early?
I think he's doing a dual major, which will make him graduate on time.
Your
But
kids are such college kids. We've talked about this. Like my kids just were not.
yeah.
And your kids are so college kids, which makes it so great. So
Yeah. Well, then it's getting better, but yes, I'm sure it was a pressure for your kids at that time. It's like, oh, you go to college.
yeah,
Now
no
I think people are
questions.
realizing it's not for everyone, and we need people not to go to college and to go into trades and
Yeah. But
other
even
areas.
as far as that, like Ben never finished and he's got a fantastic job. It's different now.
It is so
So
different.
different.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
like I remember with Dave when he was looking for jobs, they didn't care about they didn't care about anything but where's your college degree. And if you
not
didn't have
anymore.
it, they wouldn't even you couldn't even walk through the door. And I remember, and of course Dave did, but I found that so ridiculous. It's like that piece of paper is all they care about. They don't care about what it was for,
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah.
And so I feel like a lot of companies now want to train and it's just different. It's
Yeah, or they value the work experience too, because some of just in
yeah,
some of the things we were looking at for George, it's like if he were going to apply to grad school, they're looking for work experience too. So a lot of kids are taking a gap year after their
yeah.
4 years to
Oh,
work.
if I
So
could do it all again, I can't, we might have talked about it already here. Like Jake was our smartest one. He just declared, like, this
mm,
is ridiculous to spend this money when I don't have a clue what I want. And then did go back and did get a degree on his own.
yeah.
So yeah, too much pressure at 18 years old unless you have kids like yours.
Well, I think now you're learning how to be a lifelong learner because
Mhm.
people change their careers now, like I think on average 2 to 3 times. So,
Oh,
you're not going into one career for the rest of your life anymore, the average person.
not
So,
even close. It's so interesting because Ben has had quite a few shifts and I was like, you're living in a time, you are so lucky that you can do that. It's not looked at like, why can't you keep a job? It's like you keep
yeah,
wanting more or
yes,
wanting change
right.
and it's so fantastic.
Yes, yeah.
So
So
fantastic.
exciting times. So, yeah, so I've
Can't
got
wait to
that
hear what he
rose.
thinks.
I know, me too. That should be in the next month or so. And then the Rose City Yarn Crawl's right around the corner. And I'm still wanting to come for that Vermont Sheep and Wool Festival. That is on my
You're coming.
radar. Yes, so that's in the
Coming.
fall.
I know Jill
So
and I are throwing around Nitty City.
is that in Toronto?
I think it's in Montreal or Quebec.
When is that? Do you know?
I think May. I
Good.
think May. So we're throwing it around because it's a car drive for us.
Yeah, you should definitely go. It's like an hour away, isn't it, from you?
I
Hour
think
and a half?
farther. I would say 2.
Okay.
I would
Yeah.
say 2. So yeah, maybe we'll go. I don't know. I'd love to see our Canadian friends. Oh my
Would
God.
that be fun? Would Sandy go? And
Keep
like,
bending,
she's vending
bending
her leather works.
all our stuff.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
the first time for her, isn't it, vending? Or is
She
she?
vended for us at Needles Up years
Oh,
ago. She was a vendor.
okay. But
Yeah.
since then, I mean, she really, her line of leather stuff is phenomenal.
Everything she touches. My house is full of her.
Yeah,
I
she's
love
like
her.
that. She's one of those types.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Well, anything else
We're getting
today?
a lot of fun stuff coming. You've got a
I
lot of great stuff coming to the shop. I'm so excited.
I know. Slowly, the punch needle, the items will be coming into the shop as they come in. So, like I said, I already have the punch needles loaded and the fabric. I got a ton of different colors in. Not all the colors though for the summer fall yet.
Is that a
Um,
separate shipment you're going to do?
yeah, I have to pre-order that. So,
I'm going to need one of everything as soon as it gets there.
yes, yes, we'll have to figure that out. I hope within like the next month, I'll get what I need. The information from Riley Blake will be there and I can place the order and it'll all be good.
And
But in
I
the
say,
meantime, I'm going to play around with this. I'm going to find another design. You know, it's so funny because when we were doing the Lori Holt Prim series, we were like, wouldn't these would be so cool punch needle, you know? So I might take a motif or two out of that and punch it, you know, draw it on my fabric and punch it with the threads that I have just to kind of
play.
pre-play here and
I
see.
can't wait. I say we do a punch along. We do a pal
Yes, I do too.
when it gets here, and hopefully a lot of people that watch us will want to join. And it sounds so fun.
I think we should too. It'll be July.
Can't
And in
wait.
the meantime, though, I will have these in the shop, and I'm going to also sell her crochet hooks. I think April she starts a circle granny square thing as well, and I might need to make a couple of pillows.
Yeah,
So
me too. Darn it.
I
Yeah.
know
Go, I do think Lori has a few videos on crochet with that yarn. So go check it out if you're even the least bit interested. It's
good
so
tip.
much fun.
Good tip. It is so much fun.
So much
Oh,
fun.
okay, good.
All right, we gotta go. I gotta
We
clean
have
the
to go.
house
This
and
was
cook,
this was a
and
long one.
I know
I
we can maybe cut out some of the banter.
I I think we might need to cut out a little bit.
Yeah, it's okay. I trust you.
Well, I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead, and I guess that's it.
Keep stitching,
Stitching, keep punching.
knitting, punching, hooking, crocheting, anything that includes a needle, hook, fiber, anything.
Yeah, and like and subscribe. We love having you along for the ride. Check out my shop. I've got a ton of great stitching stuff in there too. I did not even mention, but I have this whole wall here full of kitted up projects.
Go look at your website.
So check it out, treehousefiberarts.com. And I guess we'll see you all on Instagram before we meet again in a couple
And
of
I
weeks.
feel like we'll be back. I feel like we're settling in again, which feels
Yes.
really good. So we'll be back.
All right. Take
All right,
care.
friends.
Bye.
Oh my gosh. I think it was
Okay.
good until I fell over. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
I couldn't tell what you you fell forward. I was like, well, the camera didn't fall. What
Call
happened?
911. I don't know.
I know. Why can I not figure out how to stop recording?
Oh,
There it is.
stop recording. It's up in the corner.
There we go. Stop recording.
It should say record.